welcome back. I'm so happy you're here again. Of course, I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. We are going to do a new DIY inspiration, and of course you see it a little bit on the colors. We are still of the last, at least this will be the last for this channel for the 4th of July. So of course there will be lots of videos already down below in the description box. There you find all the inspiration for the 4th of July. Of course, we are using the smaller tumbling tower blocks. Of course, also the measurements of the bigger blocks and the smaller blocks are down below in the description box. I have here my container with everything inside, but the most important is of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but be careful with it. I have here my little box with some wooden letters. They are very small, but you can use some sticker letters. You can write it yourself, do whatever you think is right. I have here my paint, but I choose these colors, but you can make it also for your everyday decor. Just choose the colors you like. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet to wipe away the glue. And I have here a little bag with some, you see already, a little bag with some wooden pieces inside. I always say, make sure where you find some wooden pieces, very cheap, always buy them and do them in a bag and always keep them in your stash. So I'm going to make some signs. We will see how this will turn out. So we're going to start with a little small sign, and it looks a little bit like a school board. We will see we have 2 rows of 5. We lay them flat on our table, and we're going to do some glue on the smallest line of the block, and we simply row them together this way. We do it over here and with this one. And this one is really easy, and you can use this, like I told you earlier, also for your everyday decor. You don't have to use it for the 4th of July. Maybe you are from a different country, then you don't celebrate the 4th of July. So maybe if you're from Canada, you can use the Canada colors from Canada. So you can do anything you like. I'm going to clean them up. Do it fast, place them straight up. Do the back side and clean also this side. Do it fast, place it straight up, clean up your mat and do it this side. Always go back and make sure that you have a straight line unless you have a carpenter square. But again, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to place one on the side. I'm going to do some glue on the top side, place it down, and we're going to row them very easy together. Feel with your fingers that you also have here a straight line, and you can easily fill in the open gaps. Try to turn it and do also the back side. And we're going to place it aside to let it dry. So now we're going to make the frame around it. We have 2 rows of 3 and 2 rows of 2. What we're going to do, we do some glue on the top side and over here, and you just easy row them together. You do here the same, and on this one, and you do over here also the second one and this one. And you're going to squeeze them, make sure that you have them in a straight line, and of course also this one and this one. Give it some pressure from the side, feel with your fingers again that you have a straight line. We're going to clean them up, of course, from the front side, and if it breaks it doesn't matter because you can easily clean it up again. Do the back side, and of this side we're going to turn it around, clean up your mat and do this side. From this side the same, take it up, do the back side, and the last, take it up, and we do this side also. And now we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So now we're going to take our first part we just made. What we're going to do, we place this a little on the side. We now do some glue on this one. So we do a little under here, on the underline. I showed you this way, and we place this one on this side so the blocks are in the same length. And you do here the same on the underside. You do some glue and you place it on this side, and again give it some pressure. Feel with your fingers that you have it over here also in a straight line, and this way give it some pressure. And we're going to let it dry in for 1 until 2 minutes. So now we're going to get up our piece and we do some glue on this side. So a little to the top and to the side and a little to over here. We're going to turn it around and we do here the same. And of course, be careful because it is still not totally dry, because I don't wait too long. You can wait a little bit longer. So again, place it down. We're going to get one of this piece, place it straight up, and you're going to press it to the side. And you do here the same. Press it to the side. And make sure that everything is glued nicely together, and you want to have the top side in a straight line over here. And we're going to let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So now we have the frame of course already over here. Now we get 2 sets of 2. We do some glue on this side, row it together, and on this side row it together, squeeze them and squeeze them, clean them up and let them dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we already have the base of our first little sign. So this is already one, and we're going to place it aside to let it dry before we're going to paint it. So our second sign, the base, will be a little bigger than the first. We start with a little, now we have a lot bigger. 3 rows of 11. So 3 rows of 11 blocks, and again we lay them flat on the table. And we do some glue on the smallest line of the side of the blocks. And of course, I love decorating with some signs, but maybe that's not everyone their thing. Would you let me know in the comment if you like signs also, and decorate and make a little signs? Of course, I love making signs. And of course, everyone who is already a member of my channel knows that I make little signs which you can print out, of course. So if you like that, of course, join our membership, and then you can on both of the channels, then you can find many prints for making your own cute little signs for every season. So again, this is row number 3 of 11. And then we already have our 3 rows of 11 white. Again, we're going to squeeze from the inside to the outside. And as last, we're going to press it from the side. Again, also over here, work from the inside to the outside. And again, give it some pressure. We do here the same over here. And this is so easy to make, and I try not, at least already for these 2 signs, we don't have to saw. So for everyone who don't like to use a jigsaw, you can make it very easy. Again, wipe away the glue. And again, do it fast. Place this one straight up and clean up your mat. Turn it over and do the back side. You do here the same, straight up, clean up your mat. Place it down again, and you do with this one the same. And this way you always have a clean surface to work with, but always go back and make sure that you have a straight line before you're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. This way. And now we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to place 2 of them on the side. And this one I do some small line of glue. And I do here the same. And I'm going to row them very easy together this way. And this way we can fill in the open gaps. That's why we don't wait too long. And you see already, this one is breaking a little because one of the blocks is crooked. But I'm going to try to work with it because I find it already a waste of your blocks just to throw it away. So we're going to try to do our best. And as long as I'm happy with the shape, then it's totally fine. So now we're going to make the top of this sign. This will be 1 of 4, 1 of 3, and 1 of 2, and a loose block. So we do this, some glue together this way. Do this one and this one together until 1 piece. And now the 4 piece. And this. And of course I need to go a little bit to this way. And again, we're going to squeeze them, squeeze it, And we're going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we are going to place this one on the side. We do some glue on the one of 3. Over here, you place it against here, exactly in the middle. You do here the one of 2. And you place this one also exactly in the middle. And now you do the loose block, some glue, and you place this one also in the middle. And this way, and now we're going to place it aside to let it dry in. Now we do the bottom from the sign we just made. So we do 2 rows of 4. And again, you do some glue on the top side and you row them until one piece. And this way, over here. And now you do this one. And this one, and everything is very easy to make. So if you're not a crafter but you like making little signs for in your decor, then you are at the right place, and I hope you give this a try. This is already one. I'm going to turn it over and do the other side, clean up the mat, and again turn it over, and we do this side also, and we're going to give this 1 until 2 minutes. Now we place 1 on the side. We do some line of glue. Oh, you see already, he is not totally dry yet, but it doesn't matter. We just place them down. We just glue them over here. Don't worry, that's the greatest about wood glue. You just glue it together again and it will stick nicely again. We're going to wipe away the glue over here, and we're going to turn it over, do the back side. And now we already have the base of our second sign. So, and for our third sign, we are going to make a longer one. So more a longer way in this way. So we need 6 rows of 4. So 6 rows of 4, and we do again the smallest line. We do some glue and make it a nice little, yeah, almost a square, not totally. And we row them together. And we have number 3. And we go for number 4. And of course, like I tell you every time in each DIY, just change it up to your own taste, because everyone has a different taste. So just maybe do some glam, do some coloring. It doesn't matter, just do whatever you think is right. So again, you're going to squeeze them, press them together. Also over here, press it together, and over here. And over here, go back, make sure that you have a straight line. I'm going to clean them up and I'm going to do the back side, and then we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So now we have all 6 of them. We're going to turn them in this direction and over here and lay them next to each other. We are going to do some glue on the top side, and we do it over here the same and row them together, very easy. Over here. And over here. And this is the closure up. And again, make sure that you have a nice straight line and press from the ending, and also do the sides. Don't forget the sides, because you want to have also a nice look at your side. So again, we're going to wipe away the glue, place it straight up, clean up your mat, and then turn it around for the back side. And then we're going to place it aside to let it dry in. So now we're going to make the sides of the longer plank, of course, of sign. We have now 6 blocks in a row. Very easy. We're just going to do some glue on the tops over here and just row them together again over here. And the last, because number 6 is the closure up, you do it over here and over here and over here, and the last. And then you easy going to, from the inside to the outside, you're going to squeeze it together until one piece. You do here the same. And of course on this side also. make sure that you have a nice, yeah, kind of a long plank. So in the meantime, while these two are drying, we're going to get two sets of two, and we're just going to glue them together this way, over here, and this way, and just squeeze it and squeeze it. And I'm going to clean it up and let it dry in for a little moment. So now we have our two pieces of two. We're going to place them on the side. We do some glue on a loose block, and we place it exactly in the middle, and we do here the same. Place it exactly in the middle. It can also, of course, be on this side and on this side. Look for, if you have them on top of each other, that they have the same length, because you place them on the top side and on the underside of your sign, and you want that it is having the same measurement in between. So again, you just place it over here, and you just place it over here, and we're going to let them dry. So now we're going to make the stand of our longest, smallest sign. So we have 4 rows of 3. So 4 sets of 3. So again, we row them very easy together this way. And I do it a little bit and a thicker bottom, because the sign is a little heavy. So we are going to use a double layer. So we're going to squeeze them, squeeze it, and over here, and we're going to clean it up and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do them this way together and this way in the longest line. And of course we do some glue on the top, and we place them together. We do some glue on the top here also, and we're going to fill it in, and we fill it in also over here. And we're going to clean it up and give a little moment a rest. I think 1 minute is more than enough. So now I'm going to do some glue on one of the pieces over here, and I'm going to place this one on top. So very easy, very gently squeeze it together, place it down again, and feel with your fingers that you have a nice straight line. So our bottom will be a little bit, like I told you, a little bit thicker. So the only thing we need for the base of a number 3 sign is, of course, 2 blocks. We do some glue on this side, or a little bit more, and we place this one on top, place it on the side, squeeze it, and we're going to clean it up. So for the first sign, if everything is correctly, you have this piece like this, and you have 2 of the doubles of 2 if everything is correctly. This is just for the first sign, and you see already how easy is this. And if you want to do it in 2 colors, because I make mine in 1 color, then of course don't glue this 4 pieces on yet. Then first paint this 4 pieces and then glue it on this part. But mine will be in 1 color. I will do mine in the white color. At least this part in the white. So I have a simple acrylic paint. So, but you can use some chalk paint. You can spray paint it if you like more than like the gold or silver. You don't have to do this color. This is just an inspiration. So I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to paint mine in this color. So now I have my sign over here in white, and I'm going to do the feet in dark blue. Also acrylic paint, and I'm going to do this with a little bit of a smaller brush, and I'm going to do this lightly, so a little bit of the wood is still coming through. So now I have the feet also in dark blue, but what I'm going to do, because I want to have some embellishment, you call it, on top of here. So did go to my stash, what I showed you already earlier, and I took out a heart, just a wooden heart, but you can just place anything you like. Of course, you can make this also from cardboard, as long as it's fitting inside of here. And I have the letters USA over here. So I'm going to paint them, and I'm going to do the letters also in the dark blue. And of course, I'm going to do the heart in the red color. So the very bright red. And I do also the sides, because I want to that it looks on each side, it looks nice. So I'm going to do also the sides in the red color. So I take my time for it, and then we're going to let this dry. So you see already on the side, I placed my parts over here on a piece of paper kitchen towel to dry. Of course, I didn't do the back side because it didn't have to be painted. That's why I can place it over here. So I let this on dry and we are going to paint the second sign. So for the second sign, if everything is correctly, you have this part, the 2x4 piece you glue together. And you have kind of a little, like a stair, you see, one of 4, one of 3, one of 2, and one of 1. And of course, your plank you just made. So you can choose, of course, also with this one, any color you like. I think I'm going to go for the dark blue in the middle and the red on the sides. So now I'm going to do the top side and the bottom where he will stand on in the red color. So I painted, of course, the top side, the underside, the middle piece, and now I have this piece of wood and it looks like a little house, but I'm going to use them as arrows. So I have one on the top and one on the back, so I'm going to color them. You can also make this from cardboard. And I have the word freedom, and I think I'm going to do that in the maybe red or blue color. We will see. And for our last sign, if everything is correctly, you have 2 pieces of 5 like this one. You have one bigger one. This is 6 rows of 4 glued together until one plank. You have 2 of this one, 2 blocks and 1 on top. You have 2 of them. You have 1 double block, and if everything is correctly, you have 6 blocks glued together and double it up. So again, a double block like this. So I'm going to paint this one white, this one blue, and of course this one also blue, and this one will be red, and this one will be blue also. So, and then we're going to do the middle piece which we are decorating. So now I have the sign piece white, and of course the stand, and of course the sides in blue. Now I'm going to do also some letters. As you see already, at this one big mess, I do the word glory on this piece. So I have my letters over here, glory, and I'm going to have some little wooden flowers this way, and you can make them also again from cardboard, but they will be in the red colors, but the letters will be in the blue color. So I'm going to paint this also blue, and this will be red, and this little stand will be red, but first I'm going to do this in the blue. So everything is painted. We're going to start with a small sign to glue everything together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the letter S, I'm going to do on the heart. So I'm going to get my letter S, I have to look for it this way, and I'm doing a little bit of wood glue over here and over here. And I'm going to place it in the middle and just make sure that you have it on the spot you want to have it, and give it a little bit of pressure. And then we're going to let it settle in for a little moment, and then I'm going to get my small brush, this one, and I'm going to go, I'll go around the S and remove the glue. So you see, this is how the letter turned out. Of course, I'm going to do a little bit of glue and glue it in the middle, just a little dot over here, and I just place it in the middle over here, and not press it down too hard, because first I want to do the other letters, and I try to do as less glue as I can. A little over here and a little over here, and I'm going to place it over here, and I'm not going to press it yet. And I do here the same, a little line over here, and I'm just going to wipe it away and place it on this side. And then we're going to look for that we have it on the same height, because we don't want that it is not in the same height, because that's really another nice side to see. So again, and then we're going to give also a little bit of pressure to our heart this way. And now we're going to let it dry in for a little moment, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So now we're going to want to glue our feet on top of this feet. And of course, we want to measure out the middle. So you just lay your blocks in the middle of this piece and in the middle of this piece. So you always have them where you want to have them. Then you're going to do some glue on the underside of the feet, a little bit of glue, and over here. And if you have a little bit too much, just dab it and just dab it, and you just easy can place it on top of it. If everything is correctly, you have it in the middle you want to have it. So again, and now we're going to press it down, and we're going to let this dry in for at least 20 minutes. So for the second sign, we place our plank over here. We're going to get our letters, and I'm going to measure them out in the middle. So we do it very easy with the 1 on 1, because we made one red and one blue, and we go for here, and we go for here and here. So we have to look for that we have it fitting nicely on top of here. That's why I always fit it dry before I'm going to glue it, to be sure that I have everything on the spot I want to have it. You can be over a little bit more here. Take your time for it, and then glue it on top of here, and also take your time for that. So I'm going to glue this already on top of here. So I have my word freedom on top, and of course you see it backwards, don't worry about it. Now I'm going to have my houses, which I will use as a kind of an arrows. I'm going to place them over here, and I'm going to look for the middle, and I'm going to glue them on top of here. So now we have our arrows on top. Don't worry if you see it backwards. Now we're going to do the top. So we lay it a little bit over the piece of kitchen paper towel, and again we're going to look if this one is fitting better, or maybe if you want to turn it. So I'm going to go for this one. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the top side, and we glue this one over here. So you just place this way, you do some glue over here, a small line, place it down again, and just a little over your piece of paper kitchen towel. And then you're going to press it down, and make sure that you have on each side equal left over. So again, let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So now the last part will be that we place it on our stand, and I'm going to do some glue on the underside and place it exactly in the middle. So I'm going to do this one, do some glue over here, a small line, not too much. And of course you always can go over it with your finger, and make sure that the glue is not too much. Just do it this way, and then there's not too much glue coming out. Place it over here, and we're just going to place it in the middle. I have to look where I am, and we're just going to press it down. And now number 2 is ready. Now we're going to do the last one. So I thought my camera was running, but I have now for the third sign my middle piece, the white one. I did some glue on the underside of my blue stripe on the side, place it on top of here, and I do this one also over here. Make some pressure to the underside, and again let it dry in for a couple of minutes. Now we are going to get our 2 end pieces, this one. So we do a little bit of glue on the underside over here, and a little to the top this way, and we're going to place it over here. We do here the same, a little bit over here on the underside, and we're going to do it place straight up, and we place this one also over here. And now we're going to give it some pressure. Make sure that you have the same space in between over here, which is sticking over. And I'm going to let it dry in again for maybe 10 minutes. So in the meantime, while this is also drying, we're going to get our red block, and we're going to glue this on top of here. Of course, if you do it this way, it sticks out, but if you do it this way, it will be the same height, of course. I do some glue, and I have to place it over here, and I'm going to do it exactly in the middle and give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let this dry also. So now we are going to get our little flowers over here, and of course what we're going to do, we're going to get of course our word glory, and we're going to place them on top of here. So very easy. Of course this one will be over here, and you can just look which side of the flower you like the best to glue your letters on top. So I'm going to do, I think this way, straight, all of them straight. So I'm going to glue them on top of here. So now we have our letters on our flower, and we're going to place them over here, and we're going to try to measure them out nicely over here and over here. And now we're going to make sure that we have them all spaced in the same lengths in between, over here and over here, this way. And if you are happy how they are lying, then you're going to glue them on top of here. So now we only need to do the last step, and we're going to place this on his feet. So we do some glue on the underside, and we just place it in the middle over here. But of course you see in a moment a quick impression of all three of them. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling towel blocks for the July signs, which you can change up of course for any season. I hope you give this one a try because they are so easy to make. Everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw also, and if you're not subscribed to our channel, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!